Now that Sukuna is officially stronger than Gojo, Gojo's statement about his students will surpass him makes sense. Yeah, I think now that Gojo is out of the way, I think it's time for me to push an absolutely disgusting Yuta and Yuji agenda. I've been saying for the longest time that the Yuta and Yuji agenda is gonna be fucking good, so I've been invested in those stocks for a long time, but there's a lot of foreshadowing for their growth and their powers within the starting of the series with JJK 0, Yuta being labeled as a descendant of Michizane Sugawara, the same person that Gojo was a descendant of, and then we've all seen just how strong Gojo became, and there's also just Yuta having control over someone's soul and detaining that soul without any sort of pre-existing knowledge of Jujutsu, which I think is something that'll turn out to be a crazy factor of his growth within this series. Now, if you've been around this channel long enough, and if you haven't, by the way, consider subscribing, but you know that I've been a slut with a theory of Jujutsu Kaisen and souls, and I think that the soul is the key to some serious strength within the series, and I think everyone in the series who has got an insane power or has been insanely powerful has shown some sort of knowledge or has had some sort of interaction with the soul. Mahito, Sukuna, Kenjaku, Yuki, Gojo, Yuta, Maki, all of these people have all had minor interactions with the souls, or at least have a minor understanding of what it is and how it works in some sort of way. And on top of all this, Gojo was confident that Hikari and Yuta will be as good as him someday, and we've seen the fucking level that these two can perform at already. One awakening and they could easily reach insane levels of power, especially with everything that they've watched and learned from Gojo's fight with Sukuna. Something that I theorized on a little while back there is that Yuta, being one of the only major players right now who can just use RCT willy-nilly without any conditions, him watching Gojo heal his burnt out curse technique could be something insanely valuable for him right now. Him being able to use that and the way that could potentially interact with him and Rika, maybe even removing the 5-minute limit that he has with Rika's connection, he could get an insane power up just from watching this fight alone. And then there is Yuji, my sweet summer child of an L machine. Yuji, holy fuck, Yuji, this man has taken so many L's within the series of Jujutsu Kaisen, and holy fuck, he always gets up and just fights back. And from the very start of the series, Gojo stated that Yuji's body will learn Sukuna's technique, and on top of this, Yuji is the current Black Flash record holder alongside Gojo, who both hit 4 Black Flashes in a row. That's kind of an insane feat to have for Yuji, for him not only having a technique, that's kind of insane, but he's also an insanely fast learner in combat, considering this man doesn't have a technique, as I just said. His focus and his battle IQ is insanely high, and we've seen many examples of this throughout the series, and most recently, we saw Yuji has a chaos technique that possibly involves some sort of body swapping, and then there's a little theory that I concocted up the other day. I don't really have the full details here, but I have a theory that there's the possibility that Yuji grows in strength as Sukuna weakens. We saw something when Yuji and Sukuna fought that Yuji jumped from a building and eviscerated the building with the power of his jump, and even Sukuna was like, yo, where did this power come from? So I wonder if as Sukuna grows weaker, Yuji grows stronger, and maybe it could be like a yin-yang effect. I haven't quite thought of the minutiae of the theory right yet, but it's kind of working up. It might be another video for another day, but yeah, I think it's time for Yuji and Yuta to shine through, as well as Hikari and Maki. All 4 of these fighters have shown us some insane things throughout the series, and I think now is the motivation to avenge their sensei. And I know it's like a typical shonen trope, but having their sensei pass away in front of them is now time for them to have their get back. And as I've been saying for the longest time, I didn't really want Gojo to die, but I didn't see the story progressing for our heroes while Gojo was still alive. It's just one of those types of things where Gojo being around kind of invalidates everybody else. Why would they need to get stronger when someone like Gojo exists? Now that Gojo is out of the picture, our heroes now have a mountain to climb in the form of Sukuna. So yes, I am extremely excited to watch these guys grow. Is that Toji in the back of the 12th panel? Yes. Yes, it is. Why is Toji there? Who fucking knows? But Gege sure fucking loves to draw this man, and I swear Toji is like Gojo's grim fucking reaper. Every time he appears, something bad happens. Toji killed Gojo originally, then he appeared in Shibuya when Gojo was sealed, and now he's appeared as Gojo is dying / dead. This man is literally Gojo's bad luck charm. Every time Toji appears, something bad happens to Gojo, or it's just happened to Gojo. Hey, Mr. Weeb, so just how fast is Kashimo getting clapped, do we think? You see, the evil side of me really wants wants Kashimo to give Sukuna a better fight than Gojo did, and for two reasons. One, I think it'll be funny to fuck with the power scalers, because I think that's just funny. I think power scaling in Jujutsu Kaisen is a very silly thing to do, and, you know, it is what it is. That's just my opinion. Maybe that's a hot take. But also, two, I've always said within Jujutsu Kaisen, styles make fights. It's similar to the UFC. Sukuna struggled to find a way through infinity, and he now may do the same with Kashimo and his lightning. Every chaos technique has compatibility issues, and it's the same with a domain. Every time someone has a domain battle, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Compatibility, refinement, chaos energy, the technique itself. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's the same for any sort of fight within Jujutsu Kaisen. And honestly, I think we could be looking at an insanely generational fight. I mean, the last time Kashimo was on the screen, he gave us a top 5 fight, and there's always that mystery chaos technique that Kashimo has in his back pocket. That could be literally fucking anything. I have seen theories from all over the place, and personally, my favorite one, I think it's something similar to Might Guy from Naruto, which was one of my favorite moments of all time in that series. I think it's a highly underrated moment, so as far as I'm concerned, I am very, very eager to see what Kashimo's going to cook up for us and what Gege has got in store for us, and I genuinely think that this fight is actually going to be really insane. We're definitely going to get to see a lot more hands thrown, I think. But yeah, that is everything from me. Massive shout out to the members on the channel. You guys help keep the lights on here at the old Weeb Factory, and as always, you have my eternal gratitude for that. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. We are closing in on 20,000 subscribers. We are in the final stretch now before the month ends, which is genuinely insane. But as always, I will catch you guys all in the next one. Much love, big kisses, peace.